Shalom everyone, thank you all for coming. Appreciate you all here. I hope B'ezrat Hashem that this time we won't have any problems with the program. This is the first Sparks of the Light session. I'm very happy to have you all here. And I know people are excited about the practical things to start experiencing, but we need to get down to the basics. Like the fundamentals are very, very important. There's a lot to talk about. I'm sorry if I speak a little bit fast. I'll try to slow down as much as I can. At the end of the session, we'll have more or less 10 minutes of questions and answers. Whoever has something to share or ask, you're welcome to speak up. Now, Kabbalah is a very, very deep knowledge. There's a lot of stigma because people don't know exactly what it's about so much. And I think it's fundamentally a matter of understanding its structure of learning. As many of you know already, Kabbalah, the root of the word Kabbalah is Kuf Beit Lamed, which in Hebrew means to receive. You're just receiving. You receive how much you prepare to receive. That's a very important principle here, because in Kabbalah, as we know, there is something called the vessel and there is the light. So in our minds as well, if we want to grasp a very deep wisdom, we need to have the appropriate vessels to contain it. Sometimes the wisdom just stays above us. That's what's called the makif. It's a surrounding light that illuminates us, and it takes sometimes some in order to be received. Now I'm going to share with you here a little diagram which I made, which is the tree of life. I'm sure many of you know it already. God created the world in a very specific way, which is very systematic, if you could say so. I think many of you already saw this diagram. How do you go full screen here? Go view full screen. All right. So here we have the tree of life diagram. It's a lot of things. Don't be scared, because it's we're gonna go step by step here to understand not only how God created the world, but how He created our psyche. All right. So this diagram basically explains how God created the order of the spiritual worlds, and also according to Baal Shem Tov and Arizal, which we learn about them in the upcoming sessions, the human psyche. We all have this structure inside ourselves. And I put here, as you can see, 3 divisions: the mind, the emotions, and the actions. And I divided them, they're divided into 10, what's called sefirot. Sefirot are essentially the emanations that God created in order to use as the building block of creation. So we have here, for example, the first and highest one is Keter, which means crown, right? And then we have Chokhmah on the right, which means wisdom. And then we have Binah, which is understanding. So here I want to bring your attention first to again, we all have this structure inside ourselves, and we'll take it slowly, go in order to understand how our intellect is organized. Okay, so the first one, let's look at it. The left side here is Binah. Binah means essentially what you read, the verbal concepts, meaning if you read a book, if you're listening to me right now, hopefully, then you are using the mode of consciousness called Binah. All right, it is associated with hearing, and it's also the normal state of consciousness for most people. Okay, it's a slow process as well. Let me go back here to full screen. It's a slow process, and it's also associated with the work of the Levim who were in the temple thinking. They are, when you have music, you're essentially taking all the notes, right? And you are putting them together in order to form an idea. That's what we're doing right now. When you hear something, when you're reading something, any form of knowledge that is slow to grasp, and it takes time, in order to make the associations, that is called Binah, which is literally translated as understanding. Now, sometimes the translation does not equate the full process or to the full meaning of the word, but that's okay. And then here on the right side, we have Chokhmah, all right? this is actually the state that we want to get in. This is non-verbal. It's seeing. It's the state of trance, and it's instant. When you see, for example, a car on the street, if you are a connoisseur, you understand cars, you see which brand, if it's new, if it's old, if it where was it, if it was in an accident, and maybe who's the owner, if he's rich, if he's poor. You know, you see things and you understand it right away. That's an instant form of grasping reality. All right, and this is by definition non-verbal. And this is associated with the work of the Kohanim, the priests of the temple, of the Holy Temple, which performed their service in silence. All right. Now, obviously, there are many associations that we can do with these two modes of thinking. Okay, these are two ways that we can learn to grasp the world around us, and obviously, Binah is the easiest one. But we want to reach Chokhmah, which is the right side here. But in order to have Chokhmah, we also have to have Binah. There's a Kabbalistic principle that is in Eitz Chaim, the main work of the Ari Kadosh, the Holy Arizal, who was the father of modern Kabbalah. He says that Chokhmah vests itself in Binah. It's a very deep thing. We're not going to get into the details here right now, but essentially, in order to grasp this state of seeing, we need to first acquire the necessary knowledge through Binah. That's a very, very important thing to keep in mind, and believe me, this will open the doors to a lot of things that we're going to be seeing in the coming sessions. Can anyone hear me? Everyone is hearing me? Everything's fine? Okay. So now we're going to go to the third and final part here, which is the Da'at. All right. This is essentially our awareness. Okay. This is the middle here, which is crossed by the red line because it forms as a bridge between the mind and the emotions. Especially in the Eitz Chaim, the Tree of Life work is called that is called the soul of the emotions. That's a very important thing to keep in mind, because this is essentially all the knowledge that we get, either through Binah, either through Chokhmah. All that we get, we want to essentially transform ourselves, our emotions, in order to become a vehicle for divine revelation. We want to see God in everything. We want to be to have these spiritual experiences, and we want to have this joy in life, which comes as knowing that we are with God all the time, and that we are taken care of. So that is basically your mind as it is right now in this present moment. It's the awareness, and it's also called knowledge. The literal translation is knowledge, because through that is what essentially what to explain. What you know right now, what to explain right now. That's your Da'at. And this is what essentially rules also over the emotions and enables us to be stoic. This is a very important thing. For lack of a better word, I'm using the word stoicism, but in Hebrew it's called hishtavut. It's essentially the ruling of the mind over the emotions. Okay, it seems like we have some time right now. Now, I want you guys to feel a little bit what it means to have Chokhmah, and we do it by essentially silencing the mind. Okay, we all have a lot of things in our minds. I'm gonna just close here. We all have a lot of things in thoughts that are in our minds. Sometimes they take space, and if you want to really have this state of Chokhmah, it's important that we silence the what's called in psychology the monkey mind. Okay, and the way to do it is by breathing and meditating. And we're going to do a little exercise here. If you know how to meditate, that's great. If you don't know, that's also great. If you have any special techniques to meditate, that you can use it. But essentially, I want you to do this. We're going to do this together, right? An exercise in breathing. It's very important, because breathing is the basis for silencing the mind. Okay, proper breathing has so many health effects, positive health effects, obviously, and it's so important. It's amazing how we don't learn it in school, but most of the people don't breathe properly. And the way to breathe properly, according to the Eastern traditions and also the Western traditions, is using the lower part of the belly. Most of the people, if you pay attention, if you have your awareness, they breathe through the chest, and what they end up doing is that they don't get so much air inside. And air has also energy, by the way. Air gives energy to your body, and if you can slow down and focus on breathing through the diaphragm, which is the lower part, or right at the belly. You obviously actually use the diaphragm, but you use the lower part of the belly. Breathe through your nose. Okay, so let's try just for a second. I know it sounds weird, but hopefully you're alone at home and you can do this exercise. And I want you to do it if you can, if you don't have yet meditation practice, to add this to your practice, because the effects, they're only positive and great effects that can help you. Okay, to help you think better, to help give you more energy, it will give you a lot of great things. We can discuss this later. So let's do the following. Okay, sit comfortably. I'm gonna also follow you. Put your hands on your lap. Relax. Forget about everything. All right, you have nothing to worry about. And we're gonna essentially count from 10 to 0. Okay, and 10 breaths. Let's do like that. From 10 to 0, and then we're gonna just try as much as we can to silence the mind. Now, focus. The way to focus is by first paying attention to the surroundings. So let's close our eyes, hands on the lap. Just to let all the air go. You can even lower the volume here of this broadcast. 10. That's it, let go. Feel your body relax. Don't worry about anything. 8. Feel all the tension leaving. Everything's leaving. 7. 6. Feel your muscles relax. Everything's relaxing. 5. 4. 3. 1. Take it easy. No need to go back so soon. Enjoy the moment. Just be present. Everything is fine. I'm sure many of you feel better, as I do, hopefully. So the point of this exercise is whenever you want to do something important, you take this moment. Why? Because you're in Chokhmah. Chokhmah is power. This is where you can calm your mind and you can perceive things. Let's take a deep breath. Again, feel like everything is going out. There's nothing to worry. You accumulate a lot of tensions during the day, during the weeks and the months even. And by the way, if you have insomnia, you can use this exercise to calm yourself down, and you are gonna sleep like a baby. And if you do have that, then please tell me, and I'll send you the invoice for the treatment. All right. Anyway, this is very important skill. It's very, I can't overestimate. Now, I didn't tell you before, there is this, in the Tree of Life slide we have here, I'm going to show you, also finally, the Sphira of Keter. Okay, you see here, up here, I think you guys can see the Sphira of Keter, which is basically the crown, right? The Keter is not, I didn't write it down here, but it's actually the initial impulse. You know, whenever you have an idea, we have a desire, it starts with an impulse. It's something so small, something so elusive. It's a spark of impulse that it transforms into Chokhmah afterwards, and it's also into Binah. And then you're going to act on it's going to affect your emotions, and it will finally bring you to an action down there. Well, that's not, we're not going to get into details right now, but there is finally a state that is possible to reach, which is that of Keter, which is pure unity. Pure unity with the thing that you are looking to unite with. All right, what is God, what is your craft. For example, I can think of an example right now. Most artists, they have that, but musicians in particular, they can easily get into this state where they just are completely submersed in their art. You know, I see, so they say that it's a Perlman once, you know, when he was playing, that his violin string just snapped, and he continued like as if there was nothing. This didn't happen actually. They actually said that he actually confessed that it never happened. It was, I guess, a mistake by one of the reporters. But you see musicians that they are just so into what they're doing that they cease to exist. There's no difference between this experience and themselves. That's a very powerful state. You can get, of course, with God while you're praying. This actually happened by the great Kabbalist Rabbi Shmuel Darzi. He was once praying there in the synagogue, and suddenly a madman came to the synagogue and started beating him up like crazy. You know, everybody was trying to stop him, and then he beat the rabbi, and then he left. And the rabbi was on the floor, and he suddenly woke up and said, "Oh, what happened here? Something came up." You know, he didn't even see this happening. So anyway, that is the basic structure of how our mind works, friends. And I hope you have enjoyed this. We will the webinar will be uploaded, and now we have 10 minutes. If you can send me a message here. What do we have here? I'm gonna send a message, the questions and answers for people to ask me. You can send my email, but I don't think this is working for the chat. Is not working for me. I don't see here. That's weird. Well, at least everybody, please send me your questions, and I'll be happy to publicize them. And anyway, I can't receive here apparently the. Yeah, right. You can send me a message here. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna publicize and post all the answers on my website. I hope you enjoyed, and please take this. You know, my job here is only to help you all. If you are interested in learning more or having one-on-one sessions with me, meditation or energy development, I'm welcome. I'm happy to help you all. You can go to my website shop, and I have there a few segulot and prayers. And I appreciate you all here for coming. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Take care.